Gaur, Nittai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur, Hari Bol. Namaste, everybody. Hari Bol. Thank you for joining us today. Again, you can see a very beautiful location in the Carpathian Mountains in Ukraine by a very beautiful little stream and by a waterfall. So we were just chanting mantras, and the streams are always singing. Streams are always happy, you see. Sometimes we're not. When you're happy, you sing. So these mantras will always make you more happy. So somebody asked me, what is the difference between the material world and the spiritual world? Well, number one, this person was a little bit advanced in understanding, because most people don't even think there is a spiritual world. Most people think this world is everything. But from our Bhakti Yoga teaching, we learn that there are two distinct worlds. This material world and then a spiritual world. The material world is comprised of material energy, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so on. The spiritual world is the opposite. It's composed entirely of spiritual energy. There is no material energy in the spiritual world. So, the material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Everything that we see in this material world is a reflection of what is existing in the spiritual world. Spiritual world made of spirit is eternal. It never changes. Material world, material energy is temporary. So here, as I say, we're by this beautiful stream. That means there's also streams in the spiritual world. This stream is temporary. There was a time when this stream did not exist. There will be a time in the future when this stream ceases to exist. Spiritual world, the streams are eternal. Material energy is non-living. The spiritual energy is living. As there's living entities in the material world, there are also living entities in the spiritual world. As I've said many times, the living entity is spiritual energy. We are spiritual energy. And we are in temporary material bodies, which are non-living. In the spiritual world, the living entities that are residing there are in spiritual forms, not temporary material bodies. Their spiritual form is their self. That form is eternal. It is not born. It does not cease to exist. It is always joyful. It is always happy. It is filled with knowledge. A very, very opposite of the material world. So the idea is that the spiritual world is a natural home for everyone. All living entities, all people. Natural home is in the spiritual world. This material world is not our natural home. That's why it often feels unnatural. It doesn't feel right. It's not making me happy. I'm always struggling with staying alive. I have to eat. I have to sleep. I have to protect myself against so many dangers that are always there to end my life. No, it doesn't end the life. It may destroy the body, but remember, we, the spirit soul, are eternal. So, the idea of true spiritual perfection is to go back to the spiritual world where we came from originally, and there we will find what we're looking for. Perfect happiness, perfect satisfaction. We're not threatened by extinction, by death. And the most wonderful thing of all is there's true love in the spiritual world. There, the Supreme Lord, the origin of all worlds, both the spiritual and the material world, is there in full. waiting for us, hoping that we will come back. We are His children. His love is unconditional. He's always extending His love to us in so many ways. But we're not very receptive to that love. So, by the process of Bhakti Yoga under the guidance of the perfect spiritual teacher, we can actually reawaken this long-lost relationship with the Lord. And therefore, life's journey will be a journey toward this perfection of love for the Lord. I will move away from my material attachments. I will be free of my material karma. My material desires will be transferred to spiritual desires. My life will become increasingly more happy. And then I will become a qualified candidate to return to the spiritual world. So as I said, the material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Think of it like this. On the bank of a lake, there's a tree, but the reflection in the lake is upside down. On the land, the lowest part of the tree is the base, where the roots are. And the top of the tree is the highest point. But in the reflection, the highest part of the tree is the roots, and the lowest part are the branches, the top of the tree. So it's like that. It's the upside down reflection. So this is not our real home. That's the idea. By chanting mantras, following these perfect teachings, applying them to our life, we can actually return to the spiritual world. So we wish you a very wonderful journey on your way back home. Thank you very much. Namaste. Haribol.